All right, guys, take out your homework, please. Um, what's going to happen right now is because we have a lot of stuff to cover right now. Um, I'm gonna give you guys a stamp. You guys can stamp yourselves. Okay. So we're gonna go immediately to the homework right now. So if you can close the door for me, Luke, I really appreciate it. All right.
Hey, sorry.
Here you go, guys. On last night's homework, we only had 14 problems for last night's homework. So I know some of the problems might have been very, very confusing, especially for those individuals who are not properly here. So considering that, I want you guys to ask as many questions as possible, but I don't want to take the whole entire period of going over problems. I'll try to go over as many problems as possible, but if I can't help you on certain problems, then hopefully maybe after spring break that I can go over them with you guys. So let's just take a look at your homework. I'm going to say the answers out loud. So for number 1, G equals 6 centimeters. Number 2, H is 40 centimeters, and K is 40 centimeters also. Any questions so far?
Number H.
For H? For letter H, for number 2, you mean? Basically, what you try to do as much as possible is choose 2 corresponding sides and write a proportion. Like for number 2, you would do 24 over 30, H over 50, and then cross multiply. All right, for number 3, M is 28, 4, N is 54 centimeters, and S is 42 centimeters. And for number 5, they're not proportional. And number 6 is yes. The triangles, the 2 smaller triangles are similar, and the whole big giant triangle is a right triangle. Are there any questions regarding number 6? Anybody?
How do you
Do number 6?
I got right, but how do you prove it?
Okay, so if you do number 6, so would you agree in this triangle it's a right triangle? Okay, so this right triangle is a right triangle, and if this is 16 and that's 20, what does this other side have to be?
Wait, say that again?
What does this side have to be?
12.
Good, it has to be 12. Because can anyone tell me what triangle does this follow from? Anybody? What a triangle? Oh, yeah. Good, so this is 3, 4, 5, so that has to be 12. So that's a 3, 4, 5 triangle, and that's 12. This is a right triangle right here. That's 12, that's 15. Can anyone tell me what, in this triangle, what is this side right here? Julian?
9.
9. So looking at it right now, we know that this also falls a 3, 4, 5 triangle. And then we look at the big triangle. In the big triangle, PYT, or PTY, this side is 20, this side is 15, this side is 25. Does it follow the Pythagorean theorem?
Yes.
20 squared plus 15 squared equal to 25 squared. And the answer to that is yes, then that whole big triangle must be a right triangle. Okay? All right. Looking at the next page, number 7. Yes, they are similar to each other because the sides are proportional, and it follows the SAS conjecture. Number 8. How many of you guys have a question on number 8? Okay, for number 8, this is a very important one, especially since you'll definitely see a problem like this on your next test. This is what I did. Do you guys remember when I proved that when you draw an altitude from the right angle here, you get 2 smaller right triangles? Do you guys remember that from yesterday? And that's due to the AA conjecture. Now, to help us figure out the missing sides, what I usually do, because I'm a very visual person, is all those triangles involved in this triangle right here, I drew it over here on the right side. So look at this big giant triangle. That's 68. This side is 32. This side is 60. You guys see the medium-sized triangle right here?
Yes.
What's the hypotenuse of this medium-sized triangle?
60.
The second longest side must be then equal to y.
Y.
And the shortest side has to equal to what? H. And then the smallest triangle, the hypotenuse is what
32.
the shortest side is x, and the medium side is h. So now, looking at this right here, this says is x over 32 equals to 32 over 60. What you want to do is look for corresponding sides. X over 32. Does that equal to 32 over 60? X over 32, 32 over,
68.
it should be over 68. If you go x over 32, it should be then 32 over 68. So this is incorrect. The first one is incorrect. It should actually be no. How about the second one? Does the second one work?
Yes.
Yes. If you look at it, y over 60 equals 60 over 68. Does that work? Yes, it does. So the first one is no. The second one is yes. And really, what you want to do is solve it from there. Does anybody want me to go over how to solve it from there? If not, I'll just go to the next one.
Wait, can you see the answers again?
Yep. The answers for number 8, x is 15.1. They rounded. How many of you guys got like this long decimal? It was like 15.06 something. Round to the nearest tenth. So x was 15.1, y is 52.9, and h is 28.2. Any questions how to find x, y, or h? All you have to do is just write proportions from there. For number 9, are the angles congruent to each other? Yes, for both of them. Does anyone know why they're congruent to each other? Anybody? Yes.
Corresponding angles.
Yep, the corresponding angles. If these two lines are parallel, then this angle and this angle are corresponding, and this angle are corresponding. And E is equal to 6 2/3 or 6.6 bar. Any questions on number 9? Yes.
You're at 20 over 3.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you have it, yes.
That's fine. Okay. Number 10. The answer should be F equals 24, G equals to 40. Does anybody want me to go over this one? Okay. So the way I showed you guys how to do number 10 was this. You form two similar triangles. So you form a small one, and then you form a medium-sized one. And if you look at it, this side is 36, that's 48. How much is this whole entire side, Brett?
Is it
F plus 36. And this side has to be equal to 40,
48 plus 32?
which is 80, right? And then what you do is just solve from there. 36 over this equals 48 over 80. And then you just solve it, cross multiply. And the same thing you do with the bigger triangle. Okay? Make similar triangles. Okay? Any questions on 10 at all? Okay, how about number 11? Number 11. Are these angles congruent? Yes. Is this angle congruent? Yes. How many of you guys want me to go over number 11? Anybody? Okay, for number 11. A lot of people say, why is this angle congruent to this angle? Can anyone tell me why those two angles are congruent? Yes. They share the intercepted arc. Remember that from chapter 7? If two inscribed angles share an intercepted arc, they must be congruent to each other. Therefore, this is congruent to that. What else is congruent? Well, the vertical angle is congruent. Therefore, the triangles must be congruent, must be similar due to the AA conjecture. Okay? And I just solved it from there, guys. 60 over 45 equals P over 39 to get P equals 52. Question?
On your answers, like, I just said yes.
That's
Do you have
fine.
to say, like, yes, this angle is equal to that angle?
No, it's fine. Okay. But let's say on a test, I might ask you, are they congruent? And I might ask you, why? You have to be able to answer that. Okay. Okay, for number 12, it's number 12 is just like number 11, but it's actually asking you to solve for the missing sides more. So they're both, again, similar due to the AA conjecture. And R is equal to 13, S is equal to 20. Any questions here? Any? All right. For number 13, so is RGL congruent to FRG? Yes, they are. Can anyone tell me why this angle and this angle must be congruent to each other? What's the reason? Emily? Good. Alternate interior angles, because we know that this side and this side are parallel. Okay. Any questions? We know for number 13, T is equal to 28 and S is equal to 120. Does anybody want me to go over that? Good. Yep.
Can you go?
Yep. So, you understand why they're congruent to each other. The angles are congruent, right?
Yeah.
So, this angle is congruent to this, and this angle is congruent to that. So, what sides are actually being proportional to each other? So, this side is proportional to this.
Then T is proportional to 7.
Yep.
Oh.
And then you just cross multiply.
Okay.
And same thing for S. If it's 36 to 90, that'll be 48 to S. Okay? Any questions? All right. If not, we have one more problem. And that's number 14. And the answers are 20 and 21. Hi, Chris. Okay, any questions on number 14? If not, go ahead and just put away the homework, take out the notes. So while you guys are putting away your homework and taking out the notes, if you guys need a salad, it's up here. So remember, guys, you guys actually have 2 assignments tonight that can be pretty long. The reason being is I'm not going to be here on Friday. Raise your hand again if you're not going to be here on Friday. Okay. So basically, on Friday, what's going to happen is it's just a work day. You can probably do some homework tonight. And if you're here on Friday, it's just a work day. I'll sub as Ms. Romoliotis. And yeah, you have the whole entire period just to do homework on Friday. So today, guys, 12.4 is actually a short lesson. It's actually the longest problems in this chapter because they're long word problems and can be very, very confusing. Okay? So, yes.
Oh, on the homework sheet it says TBA for Friday. Is there actually going to be
TBA meaning it's just a work day. TBA standing to be announced.
So it's not actually going to be announced.
I just announced it that it's a work day.
But never mind.
Didn't I just announce it?
Yeah, no, but there's not actually going to be any homework assignment announced.
I know. I said it's Wednesday's homework.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's not going to be 5.5 homework.
Sixth period. Sixth period is listening to you right now, right?
Oh.
Alex, that's Alex. Joey, that's Chris.
Bye, Theo.
All right. Here we go. So what we're going to be practicing for these problems are you're talking to them in the future.
They understand me.
So I want you guys to read this right here. If a 5-foot person casts a 6-foot shadow at the same time that a lamppost casts an 18-foot shadow, what is the height of the lamppost? So luckily, you guys didn't have to really draw it. So we had this 5-foot person. No, he's not that short. It doesn't mean he's a man yet. He's a person. So it's a 5-foot person. So I'm going to put the labels here. I want you guys to put the labels too. So he's 5 feet. And then he has a 6-foot shadow. We have this lamppost. And it casts an 18-foot shadow. Now, this is the type of problems that you guys will always see on the SAT. This is like a typical problem that usually every year they always have an SAT. So, what you guys should know is since you have the sun here, it makes an angle with the shadow. Okay, and what kind of angle is this one right here going to be?
Right.
This one's also going to be right. So you have two right triangles. Now, are these two triangles similar to each other? Yes, they would be. Because this angle right here would be congruent to that angle right there, because of the angle with the sun. And they both have right angles, so both of these triangles are congruent due to the asimilarity conjecture. Now, if you look at it, you're trying to figure out the height of the lamppost. What's the minimum amount of work that I expect to see? Show me the proportion. So can anyone give me a proportion using the corresponding sides? Next.
5 to 6.
The corresponding sides. You can definitely do it that way, but it helps me grade faster if you use corresponding sides.
6 and 18.
This 6 to 18 equals to?
X to 5, or 5 to X.
Good. So you just have to make sure you're consistent if you're going right to left or left to right. So can anyone now tell me what x actually going to be equal to for this? 15 feet, right? Good. Let's go for the next one. Yes, example number 2 can be very confusing. And don't ask me why she's looking at a mirror on the floor. So let me read it to you guys. Let me read it to you guys. Helga is looking at a mirror on the ground that is reflecting the top of the flagpole. Her eye level is 168 centimeters above the ground, and she is 140 centimeters from the mirror lying on the ground. The mirror is 570 centimeters from the flagpole. How tall is the flagpole? Well, you'll see a problem like this on the homework tonight, so it's a good thing that we're going over a problem like this. So, we have Helga. She's looking at a mirror. This is supposed to be a mirror. And she wants to figure out the height of that flagpole. So let's use the information that's given to us. So she is, from her eyes, from her eye level, she's 168 centimeters right there. And how far is she from the mirror?
114.
114. And then how far is the mirror from the flagpole?
570.
570 centimeters. Now, basically what happens is she's seen a reflection of this top of the flag. And actually, it should make something like that. So she's looking at the mirror, and then she's seeing the top of the flagpole. If you guys don't know, if you look at a mirror, the angle of reflection, which is this right here, is congruent to this angle right there. So what angle is this right here? 90. What angle is this? Therefore, both of those triangles must be what? Similar. So this 168, that's 114, that's 570. You want to figure out the height of this flagpole.
So, boom.
Can anyone tell me how would you write the proportion to figure out this height?
570 over 114.
Good.
And then x over 168.
Good. So you don't have to show me a lot of work. You guys can definitely use your calculator. Anybody tell me what the answer is going to be for this? 840 what? Good. 840 centimeters. Okay. All right. Okay. Now the problems I'm going to give you guys on the classic right now are very important. We're not going to do all of these. I want you guys to do me a favor. On the following problems, I want you guys to either delete this page, the pages that I'm going to tell you, or just cross it out. We're definitely doing number 1. We're doing number 2. We're crossing out number 3. Wait, no, sorry, wrong problem, my bad. Ay, caramba.
Undo.
Can you undo?
Ay, caramba.
Okay. No, the reason why I want you guys to do these problems is because these are the type of problems you guys will see in the next test. So I want you guys to do 1, 2, 3, cross out number 4, definitely. Yes! Don't do. Cross out number 4,
Wait till we cross that number 3.
and I want you guys to do number 5. The only one you're not doing is number 4. So, go ahead and do this right now. I'm going to give you guys a total of around 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to complete this. You could definitely work with the person right next to you. Go ahead and have at it, guys. Go ahead and work on it. 6th period. If you're listening to this right now, you may want to skip until to the part where I give the answers. But if you don't, you're just going to see a blank screen for about 15 minutes on your iPads. So, because that's how much time I'm giving you guys to work on this,
Why
right?
don't we get to listen to it?
15!
15? 15? Wait, 5 0?
1 or 3.
Rick Hahn, what did I say? 1, 5, 15.
Mr.
Go ahead, work on this right now.
Mr. D, why don't we get to listen to it other classes?
You should do a decimal system.
How it is.
1,
Why does 6th period get to be stalkers when we go?
Because
They're good.
experience like
They're still hearing you.
well, unless like there's one person.
All right, guys, you guys have 15 minutes to work on this.
He's quiet, Omar.
George, I want to touch my game. George, I want to touch my game.
No. And again, guys, when we're drawing these things up, do we really want to draw people? No. The best thing is just draw the line segments.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, here we are, we're recording again. Okay.
Sorry, I got 6 times. That's exactly.
Okay.
What is that? What is what?
Right. Did you guys get this for number 1?
I didn't even 5.
I'm not going over number 5 yet. But I'm wondering for number 1 at least, did you guys get this as your answer? Okay, I drew the picture.
I got 12.
How did you get 12?
Oh, I thought the person was 4 feet and the cast in a 6-foot shaft. How can you go
He just got the numbers mixed up. So again, for number 1, the answer should have been 27 feet.
I did 6 4 over.
6 period. If you guys need to look at this longer, just pause. For number 2, I got around 64 inches. Because you had round, right? Because in number 2, the person who is 5 feet 10 inches is actually 70 inches tall, right? 60 plus 10 is 70 inches.
I got the numbers. Yeah.
And the shadow is basically 7 feet. 2 feet is how many inches? 84 inches plus 4 inches. So the shadow is 88 inches. And then the shadow is 80 inches for the other person. So you just had to cross multiply and around 64 inches. Any questions? For number 3, again, the answer should be around 1.23 miles, or I prefer actually the answers in feet. I got 6,510 feet. If you guys look at my picture, the person is traveling 1 mile up, but then vertically he's traveling 840 feet. So what I did is I multiplied 7 3/4 by 5,280 feet to convert it to 40,920 feet. And I made 2 similar triangles. And then I set a proportion from there. Again, 6th period, if you guys need to look at this longer, just pause. But are there any current questions from you guys? Okay. How many guys still need time for number 5? Okay, I'll give you guys a few more minutes. Will you see a problem like number 5 on the test? Yes, but easier numbers. So I'll convert that to a decimal, 6.5.
And then X1
Good.
and then square all that.
Is anyone done with number 5? What'd you get an answer?
It's 831 over
Hey,
30.
Chris, some people haven't done this.
He asked me a question.
Hey.